What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Do remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, and of course, give me a follow on TikTok. Much appreciate those who do that. So yeah, let's get into this one. So as of today, I guess would have been around this morning. Fabio Wardley has been upgraded to full WBO heavyweight champion of the world. This is in light of the fact that Alexander Usyk has vacated his title. He's chosen not to sort of follow his obligations with the governing body, as really and truly the way it was supposed to work was that he was supposed to come to terms with Fabio Wardley and come to terms and then have some sort of fight date lined up. And Fabio Wardley was supposed to be the next man in line to fight Alexander Usyk, but obviously Usyk had other plans, and he claims, from Usyk's side of things, he again is saying that he's injured. From my understanding, I think that's what the story is. He's basically saying, well, I'm injured. I'm not gonna be able to negotiate this fight. So, yeah, this is one of those where there's a few, who only really Team Usyk knows the truth. I think there are going to definitely be people who will say, look, this is a duck on Alexander Usyk's part. He's ducking Fabio Wardley. And I could see that point. I think, in a sense, you can definitely call this a duck because Wardley is the mandatory. Wardley is the next man in line to fight Alexander Usyk, and Alexander Usyk is removing himself from the equation. He's removed himself, and he's not willing to take that fight for whatever reason at this moment. So you can say that's a duck, and I think from Wardley's perspective, it's nice. At least he gets the world title, but I don't think he'll be 100% satisfied until he actually fights for it, until he actually gets that, unless he actually gets that fight with Alexander Usyk, or fight someone to where he kind of earns the title. Because right now it's a similar thing to when Usyk gave up his belt before, and that Joshua and Dubois fight for the belt. So rather than fight, that he gave up and let those two guys, and then he beat Daniel Dubois again, sort of thing. So yeah, for Wardley's side, yeah, it will be nice that he's got that world title now. But as a fighter, I'm sure he'll be disappointed that he didn't get to actually throw blows. He didn't get to actually earn a title, and he had to, he just basically got one of these email titles, an email probably morning to say, you're now upgraded to full champion, which, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's great and everything, but it's not the same as when you actually fight the champion, beat the champion, and take his belts. That's what you want to do as a fighter, but nonetheless, I'm sure he wouldn't turn it away. And another thing it does make me think of is that Joseph Parker must be kicking himself now, because Joseph Parker was basically in the position Fabio Wardley's in now. He took the risk to fight Fabio Wardley. Not only did he lose the fight, but he failed the drugs test as well for the recreational substances, and he must be, of everybody, he must be kicking himself now, because if he just simply didn't fight Fabio Wardley, he would be the one being emailed the title. He would be the champion right now, the full WBO champion, if he just didn't take that fight. So the fight, it's a sad thing, but he'll be kicking himself now. But yeah, it's one of these things. You can call it a duck, but as one guy pointed out on Sky Sports when it was announced, he said this could even just be a case of Alexander Usyk just wanting to do his own thing and not do what he's obligated to do by the sanctioning bodies. Maybe he just wants to do his own thing and sort of just dance to his own tune and not, just basically not have the pressure or the responsibilities, just sort of take the fights he wants. I mean, I've been hearing talk about Tyson Fury, a third fight and blah, blah, blah. But to me, I don't want to see that again. I think, it'd be one thing if he'd beaten Tyson Fury once, but he's beaten Tyson Fury twice. He's beaten Anthony Joshua twice. He's beaten Daniel Dubois twice. So, there's no jeopardy in that fight. There's only one winner in that fight, and that's Alexander Usyk. He's performed absolutely great. I think it's a shame that he didn't fight Fabio Wardley, but it's up to him. He's proven everything there is to prove in the sport, and to be quite honest with you, Alexander Usyk, really, he could just walk away at this point, unless he really, really, really wants to fight. But I think, in saying that, he was saying he wants to stay in the game a couple of years, and yeah, I think that could be quite dangerous for him. He could maybe get beat in those couple of years. You never know. He could get beat by someone. But yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts about this. Fabio Wardley becomes the full champion as Alexander Usyk vacates his belt. What do you think about this? Do you think it's ducked by Usyk? What do you think should be next for Fabio Wardley? He's now a champ, probably by way of email, but hey, if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't refuse it. You got to take what you can get. So let me know your thoughts. Until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.